Hi, Mary Jo.
Hi, how are you?
Great, thank you. How are you this morning?
Oh, good. Thanks for getting up so early.
Oh, thank you. It's no trouble. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. So, I know that you can talk to us. The people who read Family First have all age ranges of people in their family. So, from babies all the way to adults, of course. So, maybe you can start a little bit about why, what happens to our skin because we're in artificial heat versus the extreme cold outside, and maybe talk a little bit about how to take care of that and address that.
Of course I could. So, what happens in wintertime is that the humidity drops, and so cold, dry winter air dries out your skin. So, when you see outside that the dew point is below 40 degrees or 50 degrees, or the relative humidity drops below, say, 30% or so, what happens is that the moisture that's on your skin evaporates much more easily. So, that's why in wintertime, our skin tends to dry out, and made worse by you turn the heat on in the car, you turn the heat on in the house. Even here in San Diego this morning, we have the heat on, and that warm air actually lowers the humidity even farther, so your skin dries out even more, and that's why this is such a tough time of year for skin.
I see. It's funny when you say lower than 30% humidity. I actually live in Colorado, and so we are basically always like that.
Right, yeah, you start to get real low, and that's when you get nosebleeds too. It gets so dry.
hmm Yeah, and I know a lot of people around here. We spend our whole winter with, super glue on our thumbs because our fingers
Right.
are splitting, and
I
yeah.
just had a
So
patient
what
in
are
my
some?
office yesterday. That's exactly what was happening to him.
Yeah, no. So what would you recommend for treatment on that?
So the only way really to treat dry skin is to moisturize it.
hmm
And what's important about that with respect to guys, which is in particular what I've been talking about lately, is that guys are terrible at applying moisturizers. So it's just not something that we're in the habit of doing. And
hmm
what's neat about it is that Dove, which is a line that's been around for a long time, now has products that are specifically designed just for men. So their new Dove Men Plus Care. So their products actually have moisturizer built right in them. So they have a body wash and face wash, their Clean Comfort body wash and face wash, and their Clean Comfort antiperspirant deodorant, all have Dove Signature moisturizer that's in it. So that's important because to add moisturization to your skin, all you need to do is take a shower. And so just by getting in the shower and using the products and using the antiperspirant, it actually puts the moisturization right back on your skin so you don't have to worry about doing a separate lotion or body cream afterwards.
Yeah, one extra step that'll just push people over the edge for sure, won't it?
It does, and for guys, it's tough because a lot of us have hairy legs and hairy arms, and so applying thick moisturizing cream just doesn't work. They don't like it. They don't like to use it. I ask them to do that when they come see me in my office, and they kind of roll their eyes and say, "Come on, doc, I'm not really going to do that."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what they do is, it's a technology that they actually design it specifically so that it rinses off, so it's not sticky and make your hair stick to itself, but rather just enough so that it moisturizes your skin.
Excellent. That sounds like a good stocking stuffer for an idea for men, huh?
Yeah, it's neat because all of a sudden now, guys' products are becoming more and more popular, and so there's products that guys can pick for themselves, and particularly for Christmas, there's loads of things that wives and daughters can go out and buy dad, and it says for men right on it, so you got the right thing.
hmm Exactly, and it smells not like a garden, which
Yeah, right.
is always a concern. So I have a question. I've heard different theories on this. I've heard from my doctor that water is good for hydrating, but then some people are under the impression that taking a shower actually dries you out. Can you clear that up?
I certainly can. I'm glad you asked. That's a great question. So, drinking water does not actually help dry skin any more than getting in a bathtub will help you if you're thirsty, if you don't drink the bath water, right? So, it doesn't actually work that way. And the trouble is that the water from the shower, especially hot showers, which a lot of us like to take this time of year, and using regular soap, that combination of the hot water and soap actually strips the oil off your skin. That is the critical part because once that oil is off your skin, then the water evaporates easily. Like I was talking about earlier, when the humidity is low, the water evaporates very easy. So without any moisturization, Because of your hot showers and because of soap, it actually makes your skin dry out, and it's a cumulative thing. The more hot showers you take, the worse it becomes. And so as the winter goes on, it gets worse and worse and worse. So water is not really your skin's friend in wintertime. It really is much more important to think about moisturizing your skin and putting a barrier on it so that the water doesn't evaporate in the first place.
Excellent. Now, you mentioned drinking water. I know that skincare is not just external, right? There's good things that you can put in your body, drinking and eating. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, of course. So, absolutely. The skin is an organ, so it's the biggest organ we've got. So just as you'd take care of your heart or you'd take care of your stomach, you also would take care of your skin. And so what you eat really does affect the health of your skin. And some of the foods, like, say, for example, avocados, right, which are high in omega-3 fatty acids, are great because your skin is manufacturing those fatty acids as part of its natural moisturizing. And so if you help it out by eating things such as avocados and flaxseed or fish oil, things like that, you can actually help your skin replace its own oils so that in addition to moisturizing it from the outside, you're actually helping it from the inside.
Excellent. Is there, and then do you have sort of a recommendation on drinking water? I know recently there was some news out of Europe that drinking water didn't really help. Can you clear that up a little bit too?
Yeah, it really doesn't. That's one of those perpetuated skin myths that drinking lots of water moisturizes your skin, and it just doesn't do it. So I tell my patients that really what's important is to take good care of your skin, that is to clean it, to moisturize it, preferably two at the same time, and to drink 3 or 4 glasses a day to be sure that you're just having some water, but not to feel that you have to meet that 8 glasses of water quota that you often hear, because there really isn't any evidence to support that that does anything for you, least of which your skin.
And how about, I know that you work with Lance Armstrong's group, the Livestrong group, and,
right, sure.
And so, of course, obviously, he does a lot of sweating, and you talked a little bit about making sure those oils are on your skin. How does sweating help your skin?
Oh, so sweating, the primary function of it is to cool you off. So what it's doing is releasing water that evaporates, and when that water evaporates off your skin, it actually lowers your temperature. So the more you sweat, the more efficient that you can be at lowering your temperature. And so, if you're an athlete, as Lance is, it makes a significant difference in your performance. Now, that is one place for sure where drinking water is important, because you do need to replace the water that you lose from sweating. So when you are engaged in athletic activities, that's an area where it really is important to have a big bottle of water, to make sure that you're drinking it throughout your performance, and then also afterwards to replenish the water and electrolytes that you lost from sweating.
Awesome. Last question. So I know a lot of people are hitting the road and traveling and getting in the airplane, and there's all kinds of, environmentals that go along with that. Can you just give us a quick tip or two about how to take care of yourself while you're on the road or when you're traveling?
Yeah, so I travel quite a bit, and I'm sure whenever I travel to try to take products that I know that I can use, because you're right that there's lots of germs on planes, and it's important to wash your hands a lot. It's important that when you're in your hotel that the products that are there are products that you can use. So oftentimes, if you pick products that that are healthy for your skin, like the Clean Comfort antiperspirant deodorant, which I always take with me, and either my Dove bar from Dove, or if I'm going to check my luggage, the personal wash, because especially when you're in hotels, you're never sure exactly what you're going to get, and a lot of the products have fragrances in them, or a lot of them are actually harsh soaps that can dry out your skin. And especially if you travel from someplace like Florida to Denver, where the air is a lot drier, it actually does make a big difference on your skin. Your skin will notice in about 2 or 3 days the difference in humidity. So it's important to have products with you that you can use to protect yourself while you're there.
You mentioned the Dove bar, so it's okay to take a soap bar on the airplane. Is that why you bring that?
Absolutely. Yeah, right. I don't put it in a Ziploc bag. I put it in I've got like a little Dove carrying case to put it in. But yes, absolutely.
Exactly. Awesome. Great. Well, Doctor, thank you so much for speaking to us today, and really appreciate these tips, and have a great rest of the month.
Thank you so much for having me, Mary Jo. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.